The person in question is strikingly handsome and undeniably charming, the kind of individual who naturally draws attention without even trying. They possess an aura of allure so powerful that it often leaves others captivated in their presence. Wherever they go, eyes seem to follow, conversations pause, and people are drawn to them as if by some magnetic pull. Their looks and charisma are matched by their material wealth, the result of an uncanny ability to attract money and opportunities with remarkable ease. Possessions, luxury, and status symbols surround them, not just as reflections of success, but as trophies of a life where fortune always seemed to bend in their favor. They have an almost mystical knack for finances and a lucky streak that has rarely abandoned them. This combination of charm, good fortune, and wealth has nurtured in them a sense of invincibility, a belief that they can effortlessly acquire whatever their heart desires. Years of getting what they wanted, without much resistance, fed their ego and inflated a sense of entitlement. In their mind, life was a game they had mastered, a world where beauty, charm, and luck made doors open easily. They carried themselves with the confidence of someone who had rarely been told no. But then, they met you. From the very beginning, you were unlike anything they had ever encountered. They were instantly captivated, desiring you in ways that surpassed their usual fleeting infatuations. They expected you to fall in line with the pattern they had always known, that their charm would be enough, that their presence alone would be irresistible. But instead, they found themselves stumbling. Winning you over was not easy. You were not swayed by their aura, nor were you impressed by their possessions. This was new, and it rattled them. For the first time, they were forced to confront rejection, or at least resistance, and it bruised their ego in a way nothing ever had before. The sting was sharp, a painful reminder that their power was not as absolute as they had always believed. And yet, the very thing that wounded them also drew them closer. You are a complete package, a person of depth and balance, carrying within you both strength and tenderness. There is a duality in you that is rare and magnetic. On one hand, you can be soft, nurturing, and gentle, radiating warmth and compassion like a soothing balm. On the other hand, you are capable of immense strength, able to stand firm, defend your boundaries, and face challenges with unwavering courage. Like a lioness, you embody both grace and ferocity, able to nurture but also to protect. This adaptability, this ability to move seamlessly between energies, fascinates them. They had never encountered someone so multidimensional, someone who could be tender without weakness and strong without cruelty. Before you, they were entangled in a karmic situation that revolved around control. They had grown accustomed to dictating outcomes and influencing people to bend to their will. Life had taught them that manipulation and dominance could achieve results, and they leaned into that dynamic with ease. But you disrupted that pattern completely. Unlike the people of their past, you cannot be controlled. Independence is woven into your being. You value your freedom and guard it fiercely. The thought of surrendering your voice or dimming your light for someone else is foreign to you, almost intolerable. You have been raised, or perhaps forged through life's trials, to stand on your own, to think for yourself, and to walk your own path regardless of others' expectations. This stark contrast shook them to their core. You were not someone they could sway with wealth, charm, or power. You met them as an equal, not a follower. You challenged them in ways they had never been challenged before, forcing them to question their own assumptions and beliefs. Where others had surrendered easily, you stood your ground. Where others had been impressed, you remained steady and unimpressed by superficial allure. You saw through the facade, and that both terrified and intrigued them. Meeting you was like colliding with a force of nature, and it opened their eyes to perspectives they had never considered. The relationship between you and this person is layered with complexity. At its surface, it often feels like a clash of egos, a battle of wills between two strong personalities unwilling to bow to one another. The friction is undeniable, and at times it can feel like a storm, loud, powerful, and unrelenting. Yet beneath the turbulence lies something deeper, something transformative. This connection has been a mirror, forcing both of you to confront parts of yourselves you may have otherwise ignored. For them, your presence shattered the illusion of invincibility. You exposed their vulnerability, tearing through the pride and ego that had shielded them for so long. Where they once relied on charm and luck, you demanded authenticity and depth. Where they had grown used to control, you demanded respect and equality. This forced them to evolve, to face truths about themselves they had long buried. For you, the connection was equally transformative. While you maintained your independence and stood firmly in your values, you also found yourself drawn to the complexity of their spirit. Beneath their arrogance, you glimpsed wounds and insecurities, the vulnerable core of someone who had never truly been challenged or loved without condition. In their strength and in their weakness, you saw someone capable of growth, someone who, with time, might transform as deeply as you had. Together, you and this person embody both conflict and harmony, resistance and attraction. Your bond is not simple, nor is it easy, but it is undeniably powerful. It is a relationship built on challenge and discovery, one that demands growth and honesty from both sides. While it may not always be peaceful, it is profoundly meaningful, for it forces each of you to evolve beyond who you were before. What exists between you is not just romance or attraction, it is transformation. You have dismantled their pride and shown them vulnerability, while they have been drawn irresistibly to your independence and strength. This connection, though complicated, has been a catalyst for change, reshaping both of you in ways neither could have anticipated. It is not merely a relationship, it is a journey, a mirror, and perhaps even a destiny, pushing you both toward a deeper understanding of yourselves and each other. No matter what they do, your thoughts continue to return to them, as if they have carved out a permanent place in your mind, a constant presence that lingers no matter how far you try to distance yourself. They live within your memory, embedded in the corners of your heart, refusing to be silenced or erased. It feels as though they have become a fixture in your very being, an imprint you cannot shake off. Even as you pour your energy into other pursuits, they remain there, haunting your thoughts like a shadow you cannot escape. And yet, while you wrestle with this lingering presence, they too are watching. They have noticed the changes in you, the way you are slowly blossoming into a more independent, self-assured version of yourself. The shifts may be subtle, but they are undeniable. There is a newfound confidence in your steps, a light in your eyes that was not there before. You have begun to step outside your comfort zone, daring to embrace experiences you once hesitated to touch. You are charting your own path, building your own world, and in doing so, you are becoming someone freer, stronger, and more radiant than ever. This transformation stirs something deep within them, but it is not pride, it is regret. As they observe you growing into the fullness of yourself, they are struck by the weight of what they have lost. They regret their carelessness, their blindness, the countless times they took your presence for granted. They replay the moments they failed to appreciate your heart, your effort, your love. Each memory feels like a wound. They realize now that they never treated you with the fairness you deserved, nor gave your bond the respect and seriousness it was worthy of. Their past actions, their dismissive words, their indifferent attitudes, all of it crashes back onto them with the force of a storm. When they look back, they cringe at their arrogance. They wish desperately to turn back time, to undo the mistakes that fractured something so rare. But deep inside, they know it is impossible. Now they are tasting their own medicine. They are living through the sting they once made you endure, the sting of distance, the ache of absence, the hollow silence where your voice once resided. For the first time, they are forced to sit with the consequences of their actions, and it burns. While you rise higher, focused on your goals, they remain trapped in the spiral of regret, unable to escape the weight of their own remorse. In this state of longing, their mind becomes a restless storm. They wonder about you endlessly, about what you are thinking, what you are feeling, what dreams you are chasing. They ask themselves if you ever miss them the way they miss you, if you still think of them late at night, if your heart aches for their presence the way theirs aches for yours. Their thoughts circle around the possibility that you, too, might still long for the connection you once shared. Slowly, an even deeper realization dawns upon them: perhaps you were always meant to be together. Perhaps what you shared was never ordinary, never fleeting, it was something fated, something profound. They see it clearly now, clearer than they ever did when they had you. They recognize that it was their arrogance, their pride, their foolishness that shattered it all. Their ego stood in the way of love, and now they are left with nothing but fragments of memories and the bitter taste of what if. They acknowledge their mistakes, admit to their failures, and in quiet moments, they confess to themselves the truth they once denied: they were wrong. They let the best thing in their life slip through their fingers. This acknowledgement drives them deeper into solitude. They begin to isolate themselves, retreating from the world outside, carrying within them a private universe filled only with thoughts of you. In that world, your laughter echoes, your smile glows, and the memory of your presence lingers like a sweet fragrance. They dwell there endlessly, caught between the pain of remembering and the fear of forgetting. And as they retreat further, they begin to contemplate their next move. What can they possibly do to win you back? How can they ever convince you that they are no longer the person who hurt you? Determination grows within them like a quiet flame. They want to show you that they have changed, not in shallow words, but in actions that speak of growth, humility, and love. They long to prove that they are capable of respect, of loyalty, of true commitment. They want to make amends, to right the wrongs that once wounded you. The thought of losing you forever is unbearable, and so they cling to the hope that second chances exist, that love might allow a path back. Every day without you only deepens their ache. They miss you with a desperation that consumes them. They miss your smile, the sound of your laughter, the way your voice wrapped around them like comfort. They miss the way you understood them, in ways no one else ever could. You were not simply someone in their life, you were the person who saw through their walls, who reached into their depths, who touched parts of them no one else dared to touch. Losing that kind of connection feels like losing a part of their soul. The pain is sharp, the turmoil constant, but within it, a fragile hope blooms. They believe in love still, in its power to heal, to forgive, to renew. They believe that maybe, just maybe, you could allow them another chance. And so they are ready. Ready to fight for you, ready to face their fears, ready to confront their insecurities. They are prepared to change, to grow, to evolve in ways they never thought possible. Because deep down, they know this simple truth: you are worth it. You are worth every effort, every sacrifice, every struggle. To them, you are everything: their world, their anchor, their light. The thought of a life without you is unbearable, a future they cannot accept. And so they will endure the pain, carry the weight, and do whatever it takes to stand before you once more as someone worthy of your love. For in their heart, there is no greater truth than this: you are the one, the only, the forever.